Someone needs this message today, not because you're confused about love, but because you're starting to second-guess what was once crystal clear in your spirit. Not long ago, you felt grounded and certain about this connection. There was a calm knowing, a steady peace, a sense of direction. But recently, something shifted. Questions appeared, hesitation surfaced. Thoughts you never battled before suddenly feel loud and heavy. You've been wrestling with thoughts you never had before. You didn't ask for these doubts, and you didn't invite them. They simply showed up, quietly, unexpectedly, and gradually. At first, you ignored them, but then they started growing. They started making you question what your heart once embraced with confidence. You've tried to reason your way out of a connection your heart refuses to release. You've attempted to be logical, practical, emotionally detached, anything to stop thinking about this person. You told yourself you were overreacting, exaggerating, or imagining things. But no matter how much you tried to silence it, the feeling remained, almost like a truth waiting for acknowledgement. You've told yourself to move on, to stop thinking about them, to just let life happen. But something deeper inside keeps pulling you back. It's not obsession. It's not loneliness. It's not boredom. It's a spiritual pull, a sense that this story isn't finished. Something inside you recognizes significance, even if circumstances haven't explained it yet. You've distracted yourself. You filled your schedule, stayed busy, entertained other thoughts, tried to distance your emotions, hoping time would erase the connection. But distractions only work temporarily. You've buried the feelings. You pushed them down and told yourself they didn't matter. You acted unbothered on the outside while quietly wrestling on the inside. Yet the more you tried to bury, the more your spirit reminded you that something meaningful is attached to this connection. You've even prayed, if this isn't meant for me, remove it. You were willing to accept closure. You were willing to surrender the outcome. You didn't demand answers. You simply wanted clarity. And you believed that if it wasn't meant for you, the desire would fade. Yet nothing disappeared. The person didn't leave your heart. The inner pull didn't weaken. The reminders didn't stop showing up. Nothing faded. If anything, the sense of purpose became stronger, not weaker. The more you tried to detach, the more your spirit insisted there was still something here, something worth paying attention to. And that's not happening by accident. Life does not repeat a name, a face, a feeling, or a connection without intention. When something continues returning to your heart with peace, not pressure, it deserves reflection, not dismissal. Heaven isn't asking you to walk away. Heaven is asking you to pay attention. This moment is not about forcing anything, chasing anyone, or trying to make something happen. It's about awareness. It's about recognizing when something has spiritual weight, emotional depth, and long-term relevance. Because there is a love in your life, or approaching your life, that doesn't feel random. It doesn't feel shallow. It doesn't feel temporary. It feels intentional, almost like it was placed in your path on purpose. It carries familiarity, comfort, curiosity, and peace, all at the same time. It feels like alignment, not coincidence. It feels like preparation, not distraction. Not because of timing, not because of physical attraction, not because of coincidence, but because something higher selected it. This connection has a sense of rightness that cannot be explained through logic alone. It affects your thoughts, your emotions, your reflection, your prayers, and even your personal growth. So before we continue, take a moment and write this in the comments. Help me protect what was chosen for me. When you speak it, you're not just typing words, you're agreeing with your future. You're acknowledging that you don't want fear, doubt, insecurity, or outside opinions to interfere with something meaningful. You're showing readiness, awareness, and responsibility. Now let's go deeper, because doubt has become the biggest threat to what you were meant to keep. Love hits differently when it comes with purpose. It doesn't feel rushed, desperate, or accidental. It carries weight, direction, and clarity, even if you don't fully understand it yet. It touches not just your emotions, but your mindset, your choices, and your personal growth. It's more than chemistry. Chemistry can fade, attraction can shift, Feelings can change based on mood or circumstance. Purpose-driven love remains steady even when emotions fluctuate. It's more than excitement. The excitement may start the connection, but it's not what sustains it. What keeps it alive is respect, consistency, patience, and willingness to grow together. It's more than compatibility. Compatibility can bring two people together, but maturity keeps them together. Meaningful love requires effort, communication, commitment, and understanding, not just similarities. Real, meaningful love is an assignment, a relationship trusted to you for emotional maturity, spiritual growth, and long-term fulfillment. It's something you are responsible for, not something you simply enjoy. It asks you to be intentional, aware, and present. It asks you to show up, not just in the good moments, but in the challenging ones too. When heaven chooses someone for you, nothing about that choice is based on temporary attraction or today's emotions. The connection is built on long-term potential. Who you can become together, what you can build, how you can support one another, and how your individual callings align. It's chosen with your future in mind, not just your current feelings. The decision is rooted in what will still matter, still strengthen you, and still bear fruit years from now. That's why certain people stand out in ways others never did. They affect your life beyond surface-level attraction. That's why this connection feels different. You think deeper around them, not from fear, but from awareness. You pray more intentionally because you want guidance, not guesses. You feel safer, not smaller, because your heart feels respected, not controlled. You feel understood, not tolerated. Your emotions and thoughts matter. You feel challenged to grow, not pressured to perform. They inspire progress, not perfection. They don't pull you away from your values, they make you reflect on them more. They make you want to be better, communicate better, love better, and show up better. They encourage healing, patience, forgiveness, and emotional responsibility. That's alignment, not coincidence. Alignment means something within you recognizes purpose, even before circumstances catch up. It means timing, growth, attraction, and intention all begin moving in the same direction. And alignment always gets noticed spiritually, which is why early attacks don't always look like chaos. Sometimes they look like doubt. Doubt shows up quietly and slowly. It doesn't announce itself. It slips into your thoughts, your emotions, and your expectations. Doubt is quieter than heartbreak, but far more dangerous. Heartbreak ends something. Doubt convinces you to leave before something meaningful can begin. It convinces you to loosen your grip on something that was still being built. It makes you back away, emotionally, mentally, or spiritually. Not because anything is wrong, but because you're afraid of what could go wrong. It convinces you to underestimate something sacred. It tells you the connection isn't as important as it feels, that you're imagining it, or that it's too good to be true. It convinces you to walk away before the blessing matures. Many people don't lose love because it wasn't meant for them. They lose it because doubt convinced them to leave too soon. This love was never meant to be treated casually. It isn't something to play with, second-guess constantly, or push aside. It deserves attention, intention, honesty, and care. It was meant to be handled with intention, patience, prayer, and discernment. It requires thoughtfulness, emotional awareness, clear communication, and wisdom. Not fear-driven reactions or impulsive decisions. Proverbs 3:5 reminds us, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding." Human understanding is limited by past experiences, fear, insecurity, and assumptions. Divine guidance sees beyond that, into what is possible, not just what is familiar. Because sometimes your understanding talks you out of what faith was meant to protect. Faith helps you stay present, stay aware, stay hopeful, and stay committed to what carries purpose. Understanding alone may tell you to run. Faith encourages you to remain open, patient, and teachable. This love was chosen for a reason, and how you steward it will determine what it becomes. Someone watching has recently asked, "Why am I suddenly unsure about something that once felt so clear?" You didn't begin this journey confused. In the beginning, you felt steady, hopeful, and spiritually aligned. You believed this connection was meaningful, and you trusted the peace that came with it. But then, without warning, your confidence started shifting. Nothing major changed. No betrayal, no disrespect, no disaster. Yet your confidence shifted. The communication didn't suddenly fall apart. The bond didn't vanish. Your feelings didn't disappear. And still, something feels different inside your thoughts. That shift didn't start from reality. It started from spiritual interference. Doubt rarely begins with facts. It begins with subtle emotional disruption. It usually shows up when progress is happening, not when things are falling apart. The enemy doesn't waste time attacking weak connections. He targets the ones with potential, purpose, stability, and longevity. He targets the ones God approved, the ones that can produce growth, healing, partnership, and future impact. He targets what threatens his agenda. And a healthy, spiritually grounded relationship is always a threat. Not because it's romantic, but because it brings emotional strength, unity, and maturity. And his favorite weapon isn't conflict, it's doubt. Conflict is noticeable, loud, and obvious. Doubt is quiet, slow, and invisible. That's why doubt is more dangerous. You often don't realize it has entered until it begins affecting your peace. Because doubt doesn't scream, it whispers. It waits until you're tired, stressed, uncertain, or emotionally vulnerable. Then it begins speaking softly into your thoughts. It sounds like, maybe I imagined everything. Maybe I want this too badly. Maybe they don't feel the same. Maybe I should just let go. These thoughts feel logical in the moment, but they are rooted in fear, not truth. They are planted to make you walk away from something you were meant to keep. But notice, none of those thoughts were born from peace. Peace comes from God. Panic doesn't. Clarity comes from God. Confusion doesn't. Encouragement comes from God. Emotional chaos doesn't. They came from fear, insecurity, fatigue, and overthinking. Fear tries to protect you, but it often ends up limiting you. Insecurity reminds you of past pain, not present opportunity. Fatigue makes everything feel heavier than it really is. Overthinking creates problems that don't exist. You weren't given this connection to confuse you. Love that aligns with God's will may challenge you, stretch you, or grow you, but it will not torment your spirit. Confusion is not a sign to run. It's a sign to slow down and seek clarity. When heaven writes a love story, conviction comes first, clarity comes later. Conviction shows up in the form of peace, familiarity, spiritual comfort, emotional safety, and inner knowing. Clarity arrives over time, through communication, maturity, patience, and divine timing. Human nature wants clarity immediately, but spiritual maturity learns to trust the process. We want answers, timelines, labels, and certainty, but God wants trust, surrender, alignment, and wisdom. He reveals things gradually so we learn to depend on Him, not our assumptions. James 1:17 reinforces, every good and perfect gift is from above, meaning, if the connection brings goodness, stability, hope, emotional growth, and spiritual awareness, then it came from a divine source, not coincidence. So if the connection brings peace, growth, accountability, and emotional safety, it shouldn't be dismissed because of temporary uncertainty. Temporary feelings should not override long-term purpose. A moment of doubt should not erase months of confirmation. Emotional discomfort should not make you abandon what God is still developing. Your emotions may fluctuate, but the assignment doesn't. Feelings rise and fall, but purpose remains steady. God does not cancel a blessing because you had a fearful day or a doubtful week. He sees the bigger picture and asks you to trust Him while He completes the story. So instead of asking, "Is this real?" begin asking, "How do I take care of what I've been given?" That single shift turns fear into responsibility. It moves you from questioning the connection to nurturing it. It moves you from insecurity to preparation. It moves you from panic to partnership with God. Because blessings aren't meant to be tested until they break. They're meant to be protected until they bloom. Many people pray for love, but few understand what comes after the prayer is answered. Receiving love is one thing, growing inside it is another. Real, purposeful love stretches you, challenges you, and invites you into maturity. Love, especially love with destiny attached, requires growth. It requires maturity, accountability, communication, emotional honesty, patience, humility. Not because the other person is difficult, but because healthy love exposes hidden wounds. It brings to the surface habits, fears, and insecurities you may have ignored. Not to shame you, but to heal you. Purpose-driven love acts like a mirror. It shows you where you need more grace, more discipline, more understanding, more self-awareness. It reminds you that love isn't just something you feel, it's something you build. This person wasn't sent to fill your empty spaces. They were sent to sharpen your strengths. They encourage growth instead of comfort. They inspire better communication, healthier reactions, and deeper emotional responsibility. They will challenge how you listen, how you speak, how you express emotions, and how you handle conflict without shutting down. That isn't dysfunction. That's development. That's what real partnership looks like. Your creator knows exactly what personality complements your journey. He knows who can walk beside you without dimming your light, who can celebrate your progress instead of competing with it, and who will pray for you, support you, and stand with you. Love is not just companionship, it's stewardship. It's something you protect, nurture, and honor with intention. And if this connection found its way into your life, it means heaven trusts you with it. It means you are ready, not for perfection, but for growth. So instead of obsessing over losing them, start focusing on becoming someone ready to love well. Without fear, without ego, without hesitation. Because this isn't just a relationship, it's preparation for destiny. Some of you are in a season where the connection feels paused. Not broken, not abandoned, simply paused. You can still sense the bond, still care, still feel drawn to them, yet nothing seems to be moving. And that uncertainty can create anxiety, overthinking, or impatience, and the human mind hates pauses, because pauses challenge control. We want answers, updates, reassurance, and progress. But relationships that are meant to last cannot be rushed. Sometimes stillness is protection, not punishment. But silence doesn't always mean something is wrong. Sometimes silence gives space for growth. It allows emotions to settle, thoughts to clear, and intentions to mature. If everything stayed loud and fast, important things would be missed. The one who wrote your story may be allowing distance because reflection is needed. Maybe both hearts need time to heal, reset expectations, or break old habits. Sometimes space reveals what words can't. Communication may have slowed so emotional clarity can rise. It's not always avoidance. Sometimes it's preparation. People often think better when they aren't overwhelmed. Timing may have shifted because the foundation still needs strengthening. A relationship built too quickly can collapse under pressure. Slower progress doesn't mean failure. It means wisdom. A pause does not equal rejection. Rejection removes. A pause preserves. It keeps the door open, not closed. Silence does not equal abandonment. Just because someone isn't talking doesn't mean they don't care. They may simply be processing. Delay does not equal denial. Sometimes heaven says wait because what's coming needs proper timing. Ecclesiastes 3:11 reminds us, He makes everything beautiful in its time. And beauty requires the right season, not a rushed one. Not your time, not their time, not society's rushed timeline. The right time, the one God appointed. So if the feelings haven't faded, if the bond still feels spiritually alive, if your heart still carries peace, trust the pause. Peace during a pause is confirmation, not confusion. Preparation is happening on both sides, not just yours. Both hearts are being shaped, strengthened, and aligned so the connection can flourish, not struggle. And when the timing aligns, clarity will replace confusion, movement will replace waiting, and everything will make sense in a way it never did before. The pause is not the end, it's the preparation. For some viewers, the issue isn't the person, it's the memory of who hurt you before them. You're not doubting the connection, you're doubting your ability to love without losing yourself. A painful past can make you guarded. Betrayal can make you suspicious. Abandonment can make you expect disappointment. Old trauma can make you defensive before anything even happens. But the one chosen for you isn't a repeat of your past. They aren't here to take advantage of you, replace you, or damage your peace. They were aligned with your life, because you're ready for healthier love. You don't have to punish today for yesterday's mistakes. You don't have to assume every story ends the same. You don't have to push away someone who genuinely cares. Love doesn't require perfection. It requires willingness. Willingness to try again, to communicate, to trust slowly, to heal intentionally. Forgive what hurt you, not to excuse it, but to free your heart to receive something better. Because what's coming into your life deserves a healed, open version of you, not a fearful one still protecting old wounds. Fear makes you react to possibilities instead of realities. It convinces you to expect loss even when nothing is wrong. It makes you question what was already confirmed in your spirit. Fear says, "What if this doesn't work?" Faith replies, "What if this becomes everything it was meant to be?" Fear says, "What if they leave?" Healing answers, "What if they were sent to stay?" Fear says, "What if I'm not enough?" Purpose responds, "You already are." The heart was never designed to be led by fear. Fear creates distance, assumptions, silence, and emotional walls, even when no one is trying to hurt you. Healthy love requires courage, not perfection, not certainty. Courage to communicate, to stay present, to trust slowly, and to believe you deserve good things. Isaiah 41 verse 10 reminds us, "Do not fear, for I am with you," meaning you're not walking this alone. When fear leads, love suffocates. When fear leads, blessings are pushed away before they can bloom. So instead of asking, "What if it goes wrong?" begin asking, "What if this is what I prayed for?" Let the connection breathe, grow, and unfold naturally. Give your heart permission to experience love without expecting disaster. You weren't brought this far to fall apart. You were brought here to flourish. Many people don't lose love because it was wrong. They lose it because patience ran out. Waiting felt exhausting. Silence felt threatening. Uncertainty felt heavy. So they walked away, not from lack of love, but out of fear. But meaningful relationships don't form overnight. They unfold with time, effort, grace, and consistency. Some connections aren't meant to be abandoned. They're meant to be nurtured. If someone brings peace to your spirit, if the bond remains strong even through distance, if your heart still feels drawn without pressure or obsession, if conversations, even small ones, feel sincere, that is not something to discard quickly. Breakthrough often comes after confusion. Clarity often arrives after silence. Many people quit right before everything was about to make sense. So hear this. If you still care, stay present. If peace still surrounds the connection, don't run. If purpose still feels attached, don't assume the worst. Leaving may seem easier, but easier isn't always right. Real love is proven when both hearts choose to keep showing up. The story isn't finished. Don't close the book too soon. Pause for a moment, not in fear, but in awareness. Deep inside, you already know this connection feels different. It feels intentional, steady, guided, and meaningful. It doesn't drain you, it develops you. You didn't imagine the peace or the alignment. You didn't imagine the personal growth it inspired. This love carries purpose, and purpose is never random. So release the fear of losing what was given with intention. Let go of the belief that love always ends in pain. Stop expecting abandonment or disappointment. You're not in a survival season anymore. You're evolving. This connection isn't here to break you. It's here to strengthen you, to stretch you respectfully, to teach communication, patience, and emotional maturity. So when doubt tries to speak, remind yourself, I didn't come this far by accident. I didn't feel this for no reason. I am allowed to receive the love meant for me. Don't sabotage what's helping you grow. Don't confuse development with danger. Don't let temporary emotions erase long-term purpose. This love was chosen for you. Protect it, honor it, and grow with it. Father, thank you for the gift of purposeful love. Thank you for aligning hearts, timing, and direction. Give this listener clarity, peace, and emotional strength. Silence every voice that feeds fear, insecurity, or doubt. Heal past wounds so they don't interfere with what's new. Strengthen communication, patience, trust, and understanding. Teach both hearts to love without fear, to listen with humility, and to grow with grace. Surround this connection with protection and wisdom. Let timing align perfectly. Let healing continue. Let peace remain unshaken. If this love is chosen, let nothing interrupt it. Let it deepen, mature, and reflect your goodness. Thank you for what is unfolding, not just in the relationship, but within the individuals involved. In Jesus' name, amen.